eagles, the flower, water, sky imagery, the tree, butterfly, the stem of a flower. There's a lot of Greek mythology reference. beomgyu. I'm concerned about beomgyu's storyline. Oh, hello, it's 4 a.m. and I cannot sleep, so this is how you're getting me today in my pajamas. I have 80,000 words to write within 4 days, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to procrastinate, and how we're going to procrastinate today is we're going to react to Morava Together's Sugar Rush Ride. That is what we're going to do. Just imagine you're in Korea, it's 2 a.m. You decided you're going to go to the convenience store because you haven't got breakfast for tomorrow. So you take the lift down to the lobby and you step outside into the cold of March. You go inside the convenience store because you just wanted boiled eggs, side of kimchi, and porridge. So you are looking at all these ranges of porridge flavors. You just wanted porridge. Okay, and suddenly overhead you hear a voice from the ceiling, and it's a voice that you always hear at 2 a.m. as if it's some kind of haunting, and the voice goes sugar rush sha, sugar rush sha, sugar rush sha. Okay, tomorrow by together, I hear you. Stop haunting me, please. I go to Olive Young and I hear you. I just wanted to take the subway and just roll a row of your faces on the digital billboards in Gangnam telling me to buy Cleo cosmetics. I hear you. I hear you. So today, the music video to the song that I heard that I keep hearing when I was in Korea. I just wanted porridge. I don't want sugar. It was 2 a.m. Stop. Why do you always appear at 2 a.m. like some haunting? I have my own ghosts to deal with, okay? Let's see if my brain works. Look at my hair. God. Oh, it's very Lord of the Flies. Swallow the sugar. Oh, Feast of the Night. Bedside, liar, bedside. Oh, the flower. Oh, Yoro. Stop, because this is very pretty. What was I gonna say? Sorry, I spaced out. 3 things. 4 things? 3 things? The first thing is, he says, open the locked door. Right? If you talk about word association when it comes to like poetry, the word association here is really interesting because it can be read. Also mean heat or mean fever, because he's saying you open my locked door really easily. There's a connotation that the door that's being opened is something to do with emotions, right? Like the heat. You make me go into heat. But also, it can also mean like feverish. I came to that conclusion because at the beginning, because we're watching the MV, so I'm going to take the imagery into account as well. At the first line, right, it says 생각은 곧 춤을 멈춰서. So because of this line, it's already setting up a very strong narrative. My thoughts stop breathing, and that implies that thoughts have a life of their own outside of himself. And thoughts in this case is being equated to reason and rationality. beomgyu was the one who sang that line, right? He's saying that on this island, once you're here, all rationality have stopped breathing. So reason have stopped. There's no reason anymore. So the song has already set up a very hedonistic perspective, which is why when Soobin came in and said about opening the locked door, you can read the word yor as if they're talking about going into heat, going into this fever dream, because of the imagery of them waking up as well. But we'll have to see how it goes on. The sky imagery is interesting. I'll keep that in mind because I feel like it's gonna come back. I'll write that down actually. The narrative, right, is about like the devil. We're going to come back to that because Lord of the Flies underpinning that parallels The Little White Bird by Jem Barrie. Little White Bird, as we've already discussed, is the original Peter Pan. Wow, his shoulders are very nice. Okay, let's go on. Yeah. Swallow. Feast in the night sky. Oh. Oh. Oh, his face. Oh, he sees stuff. Ow! Oh, ooh. Give me more. The tree at the back. I'll write that down actually because I think it's going to be important. Do you guys know Tantalean punishment? It has to do with Greek mythology. Tantalus. There's also King Midas reference. Oh my god. Let me just see that one more. Oh no. One more time, one more time. Oh. 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 Butterfly. Oh. Sorry, I was just Kai. Let's just go on actually. Oh. In the story, right? With them reaching for the flower and talking about, see, like his blood vessels, his veins, is full of sweets. So like the stem of a flower has nectar in them, right? Which is why I'm talking about tantalus. The English word tantalus comes from the Greek name tantalus. Tantalus. So Tantalus was this guy who dined with the gods in Olympus. He tried to steal the nectar and ambrosia, the food of the gods. And because he wanted to take it back with him to give to his people, to reveal the divine secrets of the gods, so he tried to take it out of Olympus. And he got punished for it. So he was sent to the Tatars in a pool of water right up to his neck, looking out at the fruit tree. He can't reach it, so that's the punishment for trying to steal the nectar of the gods. And anyways, so this is interesting that there's a tree right now. Yeah, it's very hedonistic. But anyways, it'll be interesting to see what happens. There's like a lake or something, then that might be the story for the whoever came up with like the storyboarding for the MV. Oh, Pansori! That's what I was gonna say. The Korean Romeo and Juliet. Water! There it is. Oh! 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 Did you see that? I don't know if I can handle seeing yeonjun right now, but I need to show this. His hand, there's nectar in his hand. Do you see that? The yellow stuff is not water. And it's also very reflective. Actually, I wonder what they're using. Anyway, it's supposed to symbolize the nectar of the gods, I think. So yeonjun, is yeonjun Tantalus? I don't know if it's Oscar Wilde reference, but I'm seeing Oscar Wilde. There's a poem by Oscar Wilde called Helas. Life is a twice risen scroll sprawled over on some boyish holiday. The decadence and hedonism is very anti-Rousseau. Beomgyu, I'm concerned about Beomgyu's storyline because he was getting chased by something and he was terrified and he fell down. Is he Adonis? Okay, we'll come back to this, but I think he might be Adonis. Yeah, I think there's a lot of Greek mythology reference going on. With taehyun, he reminded me of hyacinthus. But we'll find out if that's true or am I getting ahead of myself. If he starts flying or something, then we'll know. Does glitter make them look very scaly, like a snake? Here, he goes chased by something. Here. Oh wow, so much skin. Oh! He starts flying. And he's getting dressed. Oh! He did fly. Okay, Riya. So he's definitely Hyacinth. Because at the beginning, right, he was running. And do you know the story of Hyacinthus? Ovid is like a Roman poet. He wrote this line about Hyacinthus and Apollo and about scattering the clouds. That's really interesting for a number of reasons. So he's the lover of Apollo, the god of, the chariot god of the sun and of medicine. Hyacinthus was playing with like a discus, like throwing a discus, but the west wind got jealous of the relationship between Apollo, Hyacinthus. If I can't have you, then no one can. So what he did was he swiped the wind. The discus that Apollo threw hit Hyacinthus, and Apollo couldn't save him with medicine, not with like the nectar of the gods or anything. He couldn't save him. So Hyacinthus died and turned into a flower called hyacinth. Jealousy, death, and the cycle of life. And it symbolizes kind of like enduring youth. So youth that endures, so basically like eternal youth, because he got turned into a flower. Okay. Soobin. Adonis. Oh! Wow. Very hedonistic. Did you see that? I've still got it even though I have not slept. Oh, the nectar on the hand. Oh my gosh, I cannot look at it. You saw that, right? With the tree, and they did that. He did. If this is your first time on this channel, welcome. I have not slept, so I'm sorry if I'm not making sense. I usually make much more sense, and my voice is usually prettier, but I have not slept, so it's like a bit low, you know. Let's go on. beomgyu. Oh. Sorry, I know I shouldn't stop so much, but I know now what soobin is. The oracle of Delphi that has to do with Apollo. So Zeus has 2 eagles that he sent because he wanted to discover. Oh, so that's what the pool is. The water. Oh. Zeus has 2 eagles. He sent one to the west and one to the east. I don't know which is west, which is to meet because he wanted to find the center of the earth. Apollo at Delphi, which is written by Homeric hymn, right? So if you send it and they go at the same time, right? Zeus believes that because Zeus thinks the earth is flat and that they would meet at the center of the earth, and the center is Delphi. You might have heard of the oracle of Delphi. So what happened was Apollo killed up a serpent, killed a python, and the python is the guardian of Gaia, which is the mother of the earth. At the same time that Zeus was trying to find the center of the earth, Apollo went to Delphi and he killed the python that was guarding Mother Earth. And after he killed the python, he basically started a new order. Basically, he erected his own temple, which is the Oracle of Delphi. Then the Oracle, the person who gives the soothsayer, like the fortune teller, the Oracle is also called a mantis. Isn't one of the members a mantis? Questioning film. I don't know which. So interesting. I need to figure out. Oh, okay. I'll come back to this because my mind is not working right now. Basically, King Midas is golden touch. Everything he touches turns to gold. To undo the curse, he has to bath in the river. Oh, there's water too. That's interesting. Oh, something's happening with beomgyu. I'm concerned. He's the only one with that imagery. Oh, everyone is so much scared. Oh, Apollo, hello. Zeus. Oh, tantalus. Oh, look at his arms. Oh, Kai. Oh, who's in the water? Oh, they're trying to leave the island. Why are you wearing those in the sun? Hello, wow. Oh. I want to check if Adora wrote this song. I think she already left Hive, but so no, do you guys know Adora? I think she's my age. She's around my age, and she was like an in-house songwriter. I think she left Hive already, but I know that she wrote Tomorrow Together, I think a long time ago. That one also has like homoeroticism in it, sweets and candy, and about a locked door. Popping star? Because there's also star imagery in this one. I'm not sure if Adora. Probably it's not Adora, right? Because she already left. But anyways, I think it was Soobin. Soobin fell into the water at the end, right? Because I was trying to figure out why Taehyun saw an eagle. I think Soobin might be the serpent that Polo killed because he's the only one, like everyone has their own storyline, right? And beomgyu's one is the most interesting one because it concerns the underworld. But anyways, let's talk about Soobin first. So Soobin, he's not doing anything, he's just lying down. Like most of the time, he's always around water. So he's trying to protect, Delphi, the center of the earth, is called the navel of the world. And I think that what the pool of water is supposed to symbolize was Soobin fell into the water at the end, right? So the serpent passed away. And Taehyun has feathers towards the end, like the feathers flying, and he was watching the eagle that Zeus sent out to Delphi. I'm not sure what Kai is. Yeonjun is definitely tantalus. So beomgyu is always running away from something. So Adonis, basically, Zeus pimped him out to Persephone and to Aphrodite. Aphrodite is the goddess of love and yada, and basically, Cupid, Eros, is the son of Aphrodite. Persephone is the daughter of Demeter, which is the goddess of the changing seasons. But Persephone herself, the thing with like the pomegranate seed, she was stuck in the underworld, which is why like beomgyu is always reaching for something and always, he was trying to catch something. Hades was in love with her, so she's a goddess of spring, but also the goddess of death. And Adonis was the lover of the goddess of love and the goddess of spring and death. How Adonis died was that he was in the forest. He was hunting in the forest, but then he became the hunted. I think he was fatally wounded and killed by a boar. He turned into this crimson flower, hibiscus, or anemone. I don't know, my brain is not working. He ran into the cave, and I think that's supposed to symbolize underworld. I'm not sure what Kai is. As long as he's not Oedipus, I'm good. The butterfly, I think he's running away from Aphrodite. Well, that's an interesting take on the story though. There's also the pansori. Was it Kai who sang the line that is like the Korean Romeo and Juliet? Oh, I need to talk about Oscar Wilde. Let me come back. Right. So I thought I have the Ovid story about Apollo, but I don't. I only have the fall of Icarus. Anyways, I'm not gonna complicate this by talking about Icarus. Hopefully there is Helas in here. Here, Helas. She drifts with every passion till my soul is a strange lute on which all winds can play. Is it for this that I have given away mine ancient wisdom and austere control? Methinks my life is twice written scrawled over on some boyish holiday, with idle songs for pipe and verily, which do but mar the secret of the whole. Surely there was a time I might have trod the sunlit heights, and from life's dissonance struck one clear chord to reach the ears of God. Is that time dead? Lo, with a little rod I did but touch the honey of romance, and must I lose a soul's inheritance? So it's about homoeroticism, boys experimenting with like sexual desires with each other over on some boyish holiday. So he's talking about how that's basically, will he go to hell? Will he lose his soul's inheritance? There's the sense of hedonism and decadence in most of Oscar Wilde's story, because if you've read like A Picture of Dorian Gray, that's talking about like the beauty and like Lord of the Flies and Sugar Rush Ride. Sugar Rush Ride is a song that seemingly celebrates the excitement and thrill of indulging in pleasurable experiences, and Lord of the Flies is a novel that delves into the descent of a group of boys into savagery when left without supervision on a deserted island. So it can be argued that unrestrained pursuit of pleasure, such as you can see in Sugar Rush Ride, can lead to chaos and moral degradation. And this notion aligns with Lord of the Flies, where the absence of rules and authorities results in a breakdown of civilization and the emergence of the boy's primal instincts. And Sugar Rush Ride illustrates this allure of pleasure, the allure of pleasure and hedonism, whereas Lord of the Flies demonstrates the consequences of those human impulses when left unchecked. Does that make sense? So with beomgyu's story, Adonis' death symbolizes the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, with his time spent with each goddess, with the changing seasons. So I would argue that in that case, with beomgyu, his character in the MV might symbolize like the impermanence, beauty, and life. It's interesting. I really like his facial expressions. It's very good. So with hyacinthus, it's really interesting because that one really gave me goosebumps. Because even at the beginning, right, we see the cloud, the sky imagery, and I was like, I think it's gonna come back, and it did. Usually it should come back. If there's a gun in the first act, it needs to be fired in the third act. So Sugar Rush Ride, and the story of King Midas share a theme related to decadence and their consequences. The lyrics suggest indulgence and the pursuit of pleasure, which can be associated with decadence. The desire for constant satisfaction and gratification often leads to a sense of excess and moral decay. King Midas' story illustrates the perils of excess, of pleasure, and of materialism. When Midas wished for everything he touched to turn to gold, he initially enjoyed the riches but soon realized the destructive consequences of his greed. So I think the relationship between Sugar Rush Ride and King Midas' story lies in the exploration of decadent desires and the potential negative outcomes that can arise from unbridled pursuit of pleasure and materialism. So yeah, we already talked about tantalean punishment. So what I found interesting about the line that they keep on repeating, I think it was Kai who sang it. There's a call and response that happened. 이리 와서 더 같이 놀자 더. There's a call, right? Come closer, but then the response like get away. So there's that kind of internal struggle. So that struggle speaks to Rousseau's perfectibility. It's the idea that human beings are tortured by their own rationality. Even though it was set up in the beginning that beomgyu sang, rationality is gone. 생각은 숨을 멈춰서 thoughts soon stopped breathing. It's really interesting that so there's kind of resistance to the idea that you know that the pursuit of pleasure, too much of it is not good, right? And so there's that call and response, come here, come closer, play with me more, and then suddenly there's a voice that says get away. And also with beomgyu running from these like Aphrodite butterflies, Rousseau's idea of perfectibility. Another thing I really want to talk about, hedonism is about the pursuit of pleasure as the ultimate goal in life. Sugar Rush Ride may be seen as like an expression of hedonism, right, as it portrays the idea of indulging in pleasurable experiences and sensations, which is a characteristic of hedonistic themes in music and art. And Rousseau's concept of perfectibility emphasizes human potential for improvement and development. So while hedonism may temporarily provide pleasure, it doesn't necessarily align with the pursuit of personal and societal betterment. So in a sense, there's a contrast between hedonistic themes in the song and Rousseau's concept of perfectibility, as one focuses on immediate pleasure, while the other emphasizes long-term growth and progress. So they represent different aspects of human experiences and aspirations. But Rousseau's philosophy warns against unchecked impulses, the unchecked pursuit of pleasure, and materialism, as it can hinder both individual and societal development, and highlighting the need for a balance between human improvement and responsible ethical choices. So Jem Barrie wrote like The Little White Bird, and he also wrote Peter and Wendy, and he wrote Peter in Kensington Garden. There's a lot going on, but in The Little White Bird, it's very like Lord of the Flies. If you might be more familiar with Lord of the Flies, but in The Little White Bird, right, both of them delve into the theme of human nature, and it draws a lot from like John Locke's idea. In The Little White Bird, Jem Barrie explores the innocence and potential corruption of children. So the character Peter Pan embodies the idea of eternal childhood and freedom from societal constraints. However, there's also a dark undertone suggesting that even the purest of children can have a menacing side. Literally, the story is about the cruelty of children, that children are children because they are cruel, quote-unquote cruel and heartless. That's literally like the last line of the story. That's like the moral of the story. This mirrors Locke's concept of the state of nature, where individuals in the absence of societal rules can succumb to their baser instincts. So both works explore like the duality of human nature, and that also reflects in Sugar Rush Ride with the call and response, but also with all of like the Greek references. It's so interesting. Right, so this has been my reaction and review of Tomorrow by Together Sugar Rush Ride. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of my commentaries and my insomniac, my sleepless review. I might come back to this after I have some sleep. I make more sense. Hopefully you found this interesting, as interesting as I found it. Yeah. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. 주세요.